Hi again to Doran Signal Channel. What we have here is some used bricks, and they have the mortar on them and some concrete. You can buy, new bricks, but if you have a source for some used bricks like this, usually you can get them free or very low cost. There's companies, they'll clean these up and you can buy them like for 40 to 60 cents a brick. A new brick's gonna cost you, anywhere from $2 to maybe $8 or higher, depending on what you got. If you just want some for a small project, or you have some like an older house, bricks are harder to match. So if you see one that's being tore down or something like that, you can clean up the bricks and match them pretty good. You can use chemicals to get rid of this, but they're kind of dangerous and messy. There's an easier way to get rid of this, but it takes a little bit of time. Go to Hobart Freight and get yourself one of these air hammers if you have a compressor. They're not that expensive, so I'm going to show you how to do it a little bit here. You definitely want to wear some gloves and safety goggles, because sometimes this stuff goes everywhere. I would recommend the gloves too, because moving a whole bunch of bricks, you're bound to smash your fingers. And the bricks just kind of dry your hands out, so. Alright, so you want to kind of get it on an edge here and get it going. And it pretty much goes off. Pretty easy to do. There's a piece. Get this piece off here. And there's pretty much a clean brick for you, and you can use it for something else. It goes pretty fast. Sometimes you get one that's a little bit tougher than other ones, but this seems to be a lot easier than trying to use a hand chisel, which is what I used in the beginning, and it just was way too slow. It'll get the job done, but it'll take you a lot longer. Like this one's a little bit tougher because it's got... There we go. There you go. There's two clean bricks. One more in here. The other thing I would suggest is, if you have one of these, you have a tank that's a little bit bigger, I just have a small pancake one. It'll work, but it cycles a lot more than it probably should. If you got a bigger air tank, I don't think it's even really a big deal. As you can see, this one's taking a little bit longer, and I think that's because the air compressor is a little low right now, and it's trying to build up. Another thing is, you're like, okay, well, if I can get the bricks free, where's some good sources? Well, I mean, if you're just driving around, see them tearing down a house, if you ask somebody, usually it'll be like, take as many as you want, because they don't want to have to pay to remove them, so you can get them free that way, just driving around seeing. Another way you can do is the way I got mine. There was an ad on Craigslist. They just said, you know, a bunch of bricks, used bricks for free, U-Haul. So I went there, and you know, I emailed them, went there, picked them up, and took them, you know. They were a little bit heavier than I was anticipating. I have a pickup truck and I put them in there, you know, but yeah, it's a pickup truck or whatever, but it was full, the bed was full of bricks, and you could definitely tell the weight in there, because when you're going on the highway, you could feel the car doing things it wasn't normally, you know, the truck doing things it normally doesn't do. So I wouldn't recommend, if somebody's giving bricks away, you put them in a car or something. You want something a little bit more heavy duty if you're getting a bunch of them. Even if you have to go U-Haul and rent a truck, it's worth it. You know, we made one trip. It was a lot of bricks, but it wasn't a lot of bricks. It filled the, you know, I have an 8-foot bed in my truck, and it filled it to the brim all the way back. So if that gives you an idea how many bricks it was, that's how many it was. You know, yeah, this is a little bit labor intensive in that, but for the amount of bricks I needed and what I was going to use them for, they didn't have to be totally pristine. So that's pretty much where I'm at. That one looks good. So if you need bricks, that's an easy way to do it. That's a free way to do it, or very low cost. Sometimes they'll sell them cheap. Sometimes you can find them that are cleaned like this. That's probably ideal. I couldn't find any at the time, and the price was right, and I was like, well, I'll give it a little bit of time just so I can get some bricks for free. And that's pretty much it.